This is Hannover Messe Daily, the heartbeat of innovation, industry and ideas. Each morning we bring you the key topics, the voices behind them and a first look at what the day at Hannover Messe has in store. Hannover Messe Daily, think tech forward.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of Hannover Messe Daily 2026. We are your hosts, Christian Buchholz
and Kati Günther.
Today we are very happy to welcome Dr. Jochen Köckler, Chairman of the Managing Board of Deutsche Messe AG.
Together we will dive into AI's shift from theory to industrial application, the revised thematic structure of Hannover Messe, Brazil as a partner country, and key highlights like the AI in Industry program. Hello Jochen, great to have you on the show.
Hello Casey, hello Christian, how are you?
Fine, great. We have so many exciting topics to cover on the first day of Hannover Messe, so let's get right to it, I'd say. Jochen, the Hannover Messe has long been regarded as the world's most important industrial showcase. In a time of geopolitical uncertainty and rapid technological change, what strategic signal does this year's edition send to global industry?
That it's still all about innovation. So Hannover Messe is since many, many years the most relevant industry platform, and our 3,000 exhibitors are there to show technology to make their customers more competitive. And independent from all geopolitical crises, it's again to see an innovation that could be a proper solution for the customer, for the visitor. And that is still in it. And this year, I hope and I believe that we have a momentum to be revolutionary on the topic of physical AI, and that is the innovation in these days and weeks.
As you said, a central theme is the shift of artificial intelligence from theory into application. Where do you already see measurable value being created, and where does the gap between ambition and implementation remain most pronounced?
The implementation of physical AI in the industry is the same process like the start of Industry 4.0. And Industry 4.0 in the industry was the idea to collect data. Now we collect all these data and we are more and more able to use it in a way that it makes, the factory quicker to produce safer. And I would like to give you two pictures that really was breathtaking for me to understand that. You see on the booth of Agile Robotics, for example, a humanoid robot who is really able to communicate with the surroundings. So he understands the situation and he decide what he have to do. It doesn't matter if it's cutting or welding or whatever, without programming by a human being. And that is something new. And the second thing is, if you see all the language communication, we know it from our car, that you say to your radio louder, make more noise or less noise. And that is the same, that you are now able to really to communicate with a computer, with a robot, to explain him what he should do. And only a couple of months ago, it was necessary to code, to program. And that are two examples that it's not longer theory, that it go now in practice, and that it's an enormous shift on cost cutting. And yes, all those ones who are specialized on programming, all those ones who are doing work that is sometimes stupid, the one could be lucky to say, yes, I have now a colleague who is able to do this, and the other one should be very good in programming, because there are many, many things that are now easier to do.
This year's edition of Hannover Messe brings a revised thematic structure alongside new exhibitors and a reimagined visitor journey. What was the guiding idea behind these changes, and how do they reflect the priorities of industrial transformation?
The yearly Hannover Messe is every year a big puzzle of many, many exhibitors that give together one product. And it's really sensitive to discuss with our exhibitor what is the right place to be. And with all these changes in the markets, in our circumstances, we decided to design a new floor plan. That means around 60% have a new position in this year. And we do it for customer satisfaction, and customer satisfaction. So the exhibitor should be more happy with the place, and the visitor should find a structure to have an easier journey through the show. That is a basic idea. The second thing is that we have a structure that it's easier to understand which product is where.
Okay, Hannover Messe has always been a marketplace of ideas as much as technologies. With the new networking formats introduced, how are you responding to the evolving expectations of decision makers and innovators and the customer you just mentioned before?
I am now since 26 years in the exhibition business. And starting 26 years ago, if you would like to do marketing as an exhibitor, you have two possibilities. You have an announcement in a magazine, or you hire or you rent a booth on a trade show. And now, and that is the same here with our podcast, we have many, many other possibilities to explain the products, thanks to webinars, whatever. So we as exhibition organizers really have to think very creative on the topic, how to satisfy those people who are willing to join our show. And especially in a show like Hannover Messe, that is not a vertical only on wood processing or on firefighting or on agriculture or on trucks. We are a horizontal industrial show. And to understand how physical AI brings you advantage, how to use a new material, how to understand circular economy, whatever, it could be worthwhile to apply for a masterclass, worthwhile for both sides. So every exhibitor has the opportunity to offer a masterclass for only 40, 50 people. And then we bring together digitalization and our exhibition week, that prior to the show, you are able to apply for a specific masterclass. And what is really good, that the exhibitor can decide who should participate. So for him, it's a lead. So this 40 leads, he is able to use afterwards to make business with them. And then he can really decide before who would be the audience. So that makes the value added of the investment to visiting the show and to exhibiting better. The second improvement is our so-called center stage. If you have the ambition, and yes, we have the ambition to be the world's most relevant trade show for the industry, then you have to deliver. Then you have to deliver in topics, and then you have to deliver in very famous voices. And so we organize the center stage with politicians, with industry experts, with startups, pioneers, with at the end personalities who are very attractive and the visitors are really willing to hear. And that is not competition for the trade show. That is not competition for our exhibitors. That is an add-on, a reason to visit, to have more exhibitors, and at the end to have satisfied customers. And when we asked our visitors from all over the world, do you intend next year again? Then they should answer yes. And therefore we innovate ourselves, and therefore we have new formats.
The opening ceremony at the Hannover Kongresszentrum, including the presentation of the Hermes Award yesterday, set the tone for the week. This year's award went to Schaeffler for its platform of highly integrated actuators, specially designed for the articulation points of humanoid robots. Which technological or political signals from that evening resonated most strongly with you?
First, we are one ecosystem. We need the political leaders for the framework, Chancellor Merz and President Lula. They are two leaders who need a strong industry and who need a strong industrial value added. Both are willing to have this. Second, we learn that Brazil is, a country. The slogan is Brazil is ready. We have more than 200 million citizens, the largest economy in South America, and we have now the possibility for free trade thanks to Mercosur. The third message is, and you saw it in the whole event, that humanoid robots are not an enemy, that are not something we should be afraid of. We should use it. We should use it in a positive way to maintain production in Germany and Europe, and to use it in a positive way. And if you see the winner of the Hermes Award, that is really a great signal how a really old-standing company contribute highly appropriated, fantastic innovation for this new topic of humanoid robots.
So you already mentioned President Lula and Brazil. Brazil is this year's partner country of Hannover Messe. In the context of shifting global supply chains, what role does Brazil play for European industry? And where do you see the most compelling opportunities for cooperation?
First, all German and European companies and decision makers should use the possibility to diversify with a partner Brazil, not doing only business with China or doing only business with some minor markets. That is every time risky, especially in our days. No one knows what happened in the future. Therefore, that is what will happen, that we have the possibility to do business with Brazil with a reliable, growing partner. The second is what we learned, that Brazil is very proud to have something like 90% of energy on a renewable and payable basis. When we heard something about Brazil, many thoughts about the reduction of the forest or other things. No, they are really thinking their economy in a sustainable way. That is sometimes for us arrogant Europeans a very good signal that Brazil is thinking consequently sustainable on the energy development. We can learn there a lot. And the third aspect is the mentality of startups, the power of startups, the power of the next generation, the appetite to be successful, the appetite to really to develop companies and to use technology in a modern way. So that is level playing field, that is eye to eye, and that is something that is very good for us in Europe to see such a positive mindset from our Brazilian partners.
So Jochen, looking ahead to the days of the fair, the AI and Industry program on the center stage is one focal point. Beyond that, which highlights of Hannover Messe 2026 should industry leaders make a point of experiencing firsthand?
Yes, they should look on all the topics of the application of AI. Every visitor, everyone who listened to us, visit the Hannover Messe to find a solution to solve a challenge at home. And I would give everyone the recognize that there is not one button to make you AI ready. It's really a question of mindset. So I will propose to everyone to make a journey to be open-minded and see many of the aspects as a topic that is an opportunity and not a risk. On the other hand, if he is not willing and he is not open-minded, he should become a problem in the future, because the speed we see everywhere is much higher than years ago. That was more iterative, step by step to develop something. No, we have here revolutionary aspects, and I would give him that advice. Second, if you are producing a lot of renewable energies, please look in the hydrogen part. Hydrogen is still the solution to store our renewable energy on windy and sunny days. There we are at this moment, for many reasons, not in an euphoric period, but I do not see another solution to store all of our sun and wind renewable energy. And last but not least, look in the startup part where we have our joint pavilions to enjoy and to speak with the next generation, with the younger people, with the younger ideas, because I heard, and a very wise man explained me a couple of weeks ago, high developed countries like Germany only do have two big opportunities: innovation and young people.
Okay, so talking about problems and solutions, maybe we should briefly touch on a not so pleasant topic, the strike that largely paralyzes public transport in Hanover today and tomorrow. You have done everything in your power to make it as easy as quick as possible for visitors to reach the exhibition grounds. How do you make sure that they can still access the exhibition site despite the disruptions?
So it doesn't matter how is the situation. Deutsche Messe and myself are every time very close and strong partners of all our exhibitors and all our visitors that are our customers. And yes, there's a situation of the strike in the public transportation system. That is, from my point of view, something that hurt not the right people, that hurt a lot of people from abroad visiting fantastic Hanover, that hurt a lot of younger service people who earn some money there on our exhibition site, and they are not able to reach their job early in the morning. But at the end, we are a democracy. We are in an organization and in a world that is not criminal. It's okay. That is something you can do, and we have to accept. And I hope everyone see and feel that we as Deutsche Messe, together with many partners, do everything to compensate the negative aspects of the strike, compensate with shuttles, compensate that there are still some trains on the tracks to bring the people from the main station to the station next to hall number 13 there in Laatzen. So yes, it's a pity, but we have to handle it in a way, and it cannot stop us to bringing innovation to our customers.
So to close, each day of Hannover Messe is framed by a number of the day. In your view, which key figure captures best the scale and ambition of the 2026 edition?
To make it quite brief, it's 2,100 minutes of content during our fantastic Hannover Messe 26 on our new center stage.
So this was the first episode of our podcast series, Hannover Messe Daily. In the next 4 episodes, we will continue exploring trends, technologies, and the future of industry. Thank you for listening, and thank you, Jochen, for joining us today.
It was my pleasure. Thanks, Casey and Christian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for today's Hannover Messe Daily. A huge thank you to our guest Dr. Jochen Köckler for sharing his insights. We wish you an inspiring and dynamic day and hope you will join us tomorrow morning for more key topics and voices from Hannover Messe.